Alright, guys. It is Saturday, July 3rd, 2021. Happy upcoming 4th of July to everybody. I just came back from going to a museum here in North Carolina. It was pretty awesome. Enjoyed it. Took a break. That's why you haven't heard any more videos from me as of late. I've been busy. Alright, guys. Prayers to everybody in the world, especially because of the hurricane. Everybody in Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Cuba, Florida, Houston, Louisiana, the whole Gulf and Eastern Coast, heads up. We have a hurricane on our hands, and it's Elsa. I've been seeing a lot of Elsa memes, and I've been laughing at uh, Twitter, weather Twitter, so as I like to call it. It's quite funny with all the Elsa memes. Um, Check me out on Twitter. I pretty much post the majority of my news there, and then I make videos aside. So let's get into it. All right, prayers for everybody because we have Hurricane Elsa. We don't know where this is gonna make landfall. It is Hurricane Elsa, a maximum sustained winds of 70 knots or 80 miles an hour, minimum central pressure of 998 millibars, located at 15.5 north and 67.8 west, movement west-northwest at 25 knots or 29 miles an hour. I saw a good meme about a little police officer pulling up to Elsa saying you have to slow down because this hurricane is moving quite quickly. Usually the storms are like 9 miles an hour, 10, maybe 15, but this one's moving at 29 miles an hour. It's speeding right through. All right, let's take a look next. Key messages for Hurricane Elsa from the National Hurricane Center. It says hurricane conditions and dangerous storm surge are expected with the hurricane warning areas in Haiti and Dominican Republic beginning on Saturday and in Jamaica beginning on Sunday. 2. The outer bands with Elsa will impact Puerto Rico by late tonight, with widespread heavy rain moving into southern Hispaniola and Jamaica Saturday and Sunday. Isolated to scattered flash flooding and mudslides are possible, though early next week heavy rain is expected to impact the Cayman Islands and Cuba, resulting in significant flooding with mudslides possible in Cuba. 3. Hurricane conditions and dangerous storm surge are possible in portions of eastern Cuba beginning early Sunday, where a hurricane watch is in effect. There is an increased risk of wind, storm surge, and rainfall impacts elsewhere in Cuba Sunday and Monday. 4. There is an increased risk of storm surge, wind, and rainfall impacts beginning Monday in the Florida Keys and spreading northward across the Florida Peninsula through Tuesday. However, the forecast uncertainty remains larger than usual due to Elsa's potential interaction with the islands of Hispaniola and Cuba this weekend. Interest throughout Florida should monitor Elsa's progress and updates to the forecast. Alright, so we got heads up all the way from Jamaica to Cuba to Dominican Republic and parts of Puerto Rico. Please don't go swimming in these areas as currents and bad surf and all this stuff. Never go swimming in a hurricane. It is quite dangerous. You could get lost at sea. It says coastal watches, warnings, and forecast cone for the storm center. Alright, we have maximum sustained winds of 80 miles an hour, movement west-northwest at 29 miles an hour. It is forecasted to remain a hurricane as it passes below Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic. We have hurricane warnings here in Dominican Republic and Jamaica as the storm approaches. We have tropical storm warnings for the coast of the Dominican Republic and tropical storm warnings on the northern side of the Dominican Republic as well. We have hurricane warnings for Cuba, as you see here along the coast here, as it approaches on Sunday at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. on Sunday in Cuba, 8 p.m. on Saturday for the Dominican Republic. Alright, as it goes through between 8 p.m. on Sunday, a hurricane, and then 8 a.m. on Monday, a storm. So it is basically going to get weaker because of the land. Land is going to weaken it, hopefully, and it's going to become a storm and travel 8 p.m. on Monday as it approaches the Keys and Florida. Then it is still a question. We don't know whether it's going to turn to the north and go into Florida. This is what it's forecasting here, that it's going to make the turn by 8 p.m. on Tuesday and be a storm as it approaches the panhandle of Florida. And then 8 p.m. on Wednesday, a storm as it reaches Georgia, South Carolina, and parts of North Carolina. Alright, guys, so here's the thing about storms. We don't know exactly what they're going to do. This is just a forecast, what the models of the map models are showing. This is forecasting it to turn into Florida. So heads up Florida, heads up the Keys, heads up Cuba, heads up Jamaica and Dominican Republic. Prayers for all of you guys. Please, I've been telling you guys to get prepared for hurricane season, to get canned goods, to get candles, to get bottles of water, to get a first aid kit, possibility of a weather radio, you never know. But for these regions, for Dominican Republic, Cuba, Florida, you guys are getting a heads up before the storm reaches there. So that means boarding up windows, making sure you have sandbags for the affected regions that is going to pass through. Heads up for the Gulf. Also, you're not out of the woodwork yet. So everybody in the Gulf, from Texas to Louisiana to Mississippi to Alabama to Florida Panhandle, I'm not saying the storm's coming to you, but I'm saying wake up. The storm, you never know what it could do. So keep an eye on the storm in the news, and be prepared just in case, because hurricane season is just starting. This is only July, and we're getting a storm. So that means that when the big serious stuff comes in September and August, you know, to be prepared, to have a heads up, have your wits about you, is what I'm saying. So prayers for everybody. Please pray that the storm gets pushed out to sea. that's my initial prayer, that it just skips between Dominican Republic and Cuba, affects the least people as possible, and it heads out to sea and never comes back. But you never know with these storms. Please pray that it gets weaker, that it doesn't affect more people. Please pray for the people in its path. Alright, let's see what we have here. This is the tropical storm force winds and speed probabilities. So these are the possible affected areas of tropical storm winds. So we got parts of Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Jamaica, Cuba, and Florida possibly going to be affected by this. So we got these areas in the Bahamas as well getting tropical storm force winds, so heads up to all of you. Alright, so let's take a look here. We have Elsa. As you see, it will be passing as a Category 1 hurricane below Puerto Rico and below Dominican Republic here, as you see. You see all the warnings for Dominican Republic here and parts of Cuba and Jamaica. So this is the hot zone right now. Alright, so hurricane will be Category 1, then it will weaken into a storm as Monday 8 p.m. and Monday 8 a.m. it passes over Cuba, then a tropical storm still as it goes into the possibility of Tampa, Florida area. Then it's forecasting that it's going to be turning into Georgia and South Carolina as it goes forward. We don't know exactly if it's going to do that or not. I'm not saying that in this channel, I'm just saying this is what they're forecasting from the National Hurricane Center. So that's where I'm giving the warnings. Alright, guys. Alright, so this is National Weather Service. We got the 4th of July weekend featuring Heat and Elsa. Woo, sounds like a Disney movie. Alright, hot temperatures will be common throughout the holiday weekend from the northwest to central basin to the upper Midwest, where excess heat warnings and heat advisories persist. Hurricane Elsa will move through the Caribbean Sea on Saturday and approach the southern coast of Hispaniola. There is an increasing risk of storm surge, wind, and rainfall impacts beginning Monday from the Florida Keys. So Monday, we got impacts from the Florida Keys. Here you see the storm warnings for the Bahamas. We have tropical storm warning for the Bahamas and the Florida Keys, almost approaching. Not yet, but it's getting hot out there. And then we have excessive heat warning for southwestern Idaho and the eastern Oregon region, and heat advisory for southwest Oregon and northern California, as well as northeast Oregon and southeast Washington. We have excessive heat warning for northeastern Montana and heat advisory for southeastern Montana. Alright. We also have the possibility of flash flood watch for northern and central New Mexico and northern and central New Mexico, as it is monsoon season. So this area right here, possibility of monsoon in New Mexico. Also, we still have the effects of, this is why we're getting the heat warnings for Montana, Idaho, Oregon, and Washington. We had the heat dome on the western side of the country. It is lifting a little bit, so there's still some warmth, but it's still getting warnings of heat there. So heads up for you guys. Alright, so this is looking at the Hurricane Elsa model track guidance. This is what they're forecasting from the National Hurricane Center. But pretty much these are models. This is just possibility of what could happen. But as the days pass and the forecasts get more accurate, these are the probabilities of Elsa's track. We have it possibly going under Dominican Republic, which is more accurate in agreement there. But then the possibilities start splitting up, whether if it goes more to sea between Dominican Republic and Cuba and heads out to sea, or goes over Cuba, as you see here, and then affects either the Gulf or Florida. We don't know if it will turn into the Gulf here as it goes over Cuba, or if it will hit Florida straight on and take the whole peninsula from south to north and go into Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and come out through Virginia and North Carolina, or if it will take a less land-filled track, as you say, and go over Cuba, the Bahamas, and then out to sea. So we have to keep an eye. The second it goes either between Dominican Republic and Cuba or over Cuba, it will tell you whether it will be more Florida or more ocean or more Gulf. So we have to keep an eye on that. Prayers that it goes out to sea, because that is what we need. We don't need more land damage. Alright. This is Hurricane Elsa's model intensity guidance. The majority of the models are saying that it will remain either a tropical storm or a Category 1 hurricane. As you see here, the majority of the models show more tropical storm in Category 1. Very rarely is it showing a Category 2, only 3 models showing a Category 2, meaning that it could possibly increase into a stronger storm, and then borderline Category 3, only 1 model showing right there. So who knows if it will increase in intensity or not. Please pray that it gets weaker. We need weaker storms, safer people. Alright, so we got tropics wind shear. This is the wind shear in the Caribbean, meaning that if the storm encounters it, it could slow it down and weaken it. As you see below Cuba and Jamaica, there's some wind shear, so that could help out. Alright guys, let's take a look at the Saffir-Simpson hurricane scale. We have a Category 1 hurricane. I believe it's 998 millibars. Let's take a look again. Yep, 998 millibars. So that means it is here at Category 1, 980 to 994. So 998 millibars makes it a Category 74, between 74 and 95 miles an hour. Let's pray that it weakens to a tropical storm. So get to it, prayer warriors, as I like to say. Alright, let's take a look. We have something else. Something else other than the Hurricane Elsa. Today, a gas leak caused a fire in the Gulf of Mexico, and the videos are unreal. Oh cool, they've opened a portal to hell, somebody said. A fire broke out in the southwestern waters of the Gulf of Mexico after an underwater pipeline leaked, sending the internet ablaze with horror as views of flames spewing out of the ocean went viral. So we have here an image of boats with water hoses throwing water on this fire in the Gulf. It says Mexican state-owned petroleum company Petróleos Mexicanos, also known as Pemex, said a gas leak was discovered in the 12-inch submarine pipeline near platform in the Kumalup Zap oil field. Firefighter crews were able to snuff out the swirling fiery mass of water by about 10:45 a.m., the company said. No injuries were reported. The cause of the incident is still under investigation, but as usual, Twitter users have their own ideas about exactly what's going on. The ocean is on fire in the Gulf of Mexico after a pipeline erupted. Good system. So this is the image of. It's actually a video, but I'm not gonna click it. I'll leave you the link so you guys can check it out yourselves. But look at how fiery the water there is. So prayers for the people in the Gulf having to deal with this right before a hurricane. Alright guys, we don't need any of that stuff. Please pray for each other. We need each other. Be prepared, be prepared, be prepared. We need to be prepared for this hurricane. Heads up, the time to be prepared was yesterday, but if you still haven't gotten prepared, you have a little bit of time before it gets closer to Florida. If you live in Cuba and the Dominican Republic, you have less time, but at least you could be more prepared. So let's start getting active and getting the things we need and start getting prepared for hurricane season. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Hit like and subscribe for more, and God bless you guys. We all need it. Alright guys, see you next time.